Hello everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is me, Dukect, back with you once again this Saturday afternoon with the Laughing Man from Black Shepherd Games. And we are, looking at Super Metroid, the Metroid 3, as it were. Which, let's see, right? First. Yeah, but I'm not going to risk my stuff on that. Eventually, I'll play the Samus Returns thing on the 3DS and such. Which by the way, I like the fact Nintendo had the balls to release a sequel to one of its high-selling games on the NES, on the Game Boy and such. You know, yeah. Now, but yeah, this is the let's see, the sequel and everything, and this is, well, I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me? Hello. Let's see. All right, hold on. Let me just. Oh dear. Hold on. Maybe it's my video. Oh, let me just hold on. Let me just. Okay. Usually is. Let me just try it. Okay. Oh. Okay. Now we got it. Let me just. Hold on. All right. All right. Okay. We got this. All right. Now I bet you can play. Say something.
Something.
I think it's working. So yeah, it's not working because I had the
All right,
Discord,
cool.
the
You can hear me.
desktop audio off for some reason.
I am quite a bit louder than you are. Just a heads up. You might want to turn your sound up.
All right. Let me just see that. Let me. All right. My sound is all the way up actually. Just All right. Let me just move my mic right here, and let me just the desktop a little bit low right here. How's that? I think that's a little bit better. You know,
I
like
think it's going to be much better.
oh yes. And meanwhile, Samus is still talking or typing, whatever she's doing. And she just
Yeah.
gave the
Audio levels are fantastic right now, Duke. Good job.
all right, which by the way, she's typing in her lovely live journal, and just like saying, "Yep, everything's all right." And Metroid, the baby Metroid I gave to the scientists from not caused any harm. See, it's all good. And the scientists are just working on this Metroid, and everything's gonna work out just fine.
We're just working on this coronavirus. Nothing bad can possibly happen.
Oh, new bounty to hunt. Which, by the way, Nintendo has already downplays their whole bounty hunter thing because they don't want Samus to be like, well, how morally gray they are. They basically say she just works for the Federation outside the jurisdiction, but overall she's like part of like the military or whatever. They just
Yeah, they're
don't.
doing the squeaky clean version.
Mm. Yeah, new bounties to hunt and all that good stuff. By the way, it was my first time actually sitting and playing this entire game. Uh, First, I did the NES Metroid, which was fun, and yeah, it was fun there. And I'm going to the only Metroid games I've actually played and did well at was the Metroid Prime games. I got all of them: Metroid Prime 1, 2, 3, and I am still waiting for Metroid 4, even though it's been what, like 4 years since it's supposedly has been announced. And oh boy, that's not foreboding whatsoever. But yeah, it's been like 4 years.
Well,
For
didn't Metroid get a good run on the Game Boy Advance and stuff?
oh yeah, Metroid Fusion, Metroid Zero Mission, all that stuff. Which all right, let's just take Ridley, the ever, I mean, just continually just survive every single gosh darn attacked from this. I'm like, every time you think he's dead, they just rebuild him or clone him or whatever. It's like, I mean, I know Ridley is like the most iconic, um, the iconic villain of the franchise, but I'm like, at what point?
Besides Mother Rain.
Yeah, it's just yeah, you just like, at what point can you just stop rebuilding him? How much stuff can you actually like rebuild from, like, for example, a claw or like for a tooth or whatever?
Hey, they completely rebuilt Commander Shepard from Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2 after he got burned up.
Well, that was I don't know. That was just plot. That's like plot armor. That was the reason why they rebuilt him. But I'm just like, man, how many times can you rebuild something? And I can't wait to see Ridley's gonna be behind the whole thing in Metroid Dread, which I guarantee you that's gonna be the villain behind it. That's not a spoiler. That's just a guarantee. Ooh. 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 Alright. I'm not gonna die. This time here. Alright. There you go. Huzzah. I made it.
Those Mode 7 graphics.
Some say that the Metroid series has never really reached this peak again, which is kind of, funny and sad, because I honestly think the Prime series, really did that type of, elevated it, But as it stands, some people still swear by the 2D Metroid. They still swear by this game and all the stuff that came with it. All the sequels and everything else. Ah, yeah. Let's see. I don't know where I'm supposed to go, so I'm just hoping I'm going the right direction. That's what the entire stuff here is like, because this is my first time playing it. So if I go somewhere wrong, I'll just go online or whatever. Like, why is Samus can't roll into a ball yet?
Because that's, again, it's Metroidvania, classic Metroidvania.
To me, that's like, why can't you roll into a ball? I mean, this is like, that's the one thing I never got from the Metroid series, is that, okay, you have to upgrade, like, you have to redo your whole thing over and over and over again. I'm like, come on. I mean, the worst I saw was Metroid Prime, the first one, like, one explosion knocked out all her gear. I'm like, you can't take one explosion? You deal with all these things on a daily basis, and you're like, oh, one bad explosion, everything's gone. But that's just my ranting of the Metroid stuff. It's just, I'm hopeful I'm going in the right direction. Anyone in the chat can tell me.
For the most part, you really can't go any other direction besides the right one. So, a good Metroidvania, again, the hints in the title. A good Metroidvania should lead you where you need to go.
Ah, the Metroid ball. Oh, the morphing.
There you go. Now you can go back and morph into a ball.
Huzzah! Huh. Huh. Yes, mode 7 graphics. There you are. Let's see. Huh. Can't use bombs. Not yet. Why can't I use bombs? I don't know. Come on. Get up. Ah! Oh, there you are. I might have did it wrong, but I don't care. Because this is pretty much the first. You're going back to the first game here, which is nice. It's just like it's like coming back to an old like okay, this is pretty much going back to the first game and seeing how everything is worked out and everything. So, you know. Anyway, speaking of everything else that's going on with Metroid, Metroid Dread is already sold over 3 million copies at time right now, the live stream.
Damn.
So, it's the most highest selling Metroid game of all time. Which,
Wait a minute, is it even out?
no. It
Oh,
is
so it's
not.
pre-orders.
Yeah, pre orders, man.
Jesus.
No pressure. I get the feeling that.
No pressure and no refunds.
Mm-hmm. But I'm hopeful it's going to be good. And if this does well, which it already has done well, I'm betting they're gonna finally re-released, probably do Metroid 2, that remaster of Nintendo did. They're gonna probably do a remaster of that, put it on the Switch, and probably they're saying they're gonna put the Game Boy games up there too. So. You know, that's what's going to. I believe that's going to be the next big thing. Even though I wish they could just, I don't know, put like all the Game Boy and the Game Boy, N64. In fact, all the DS stuff too. It'd be nice. In fact, the only time you can get the DS games and everything else is on the Wii U, which no one really bought or cared for, except for myself. Right? 3, 4, 5. Right? That's because I actually do have my Wii U, and I'm planning to actually do get some Wii U games and actually play some. It's No More Heroes and everything.
Well, my brother had one, so we're not alone.
It's to me. I just look at it as like the Wii U is such wasted potential. It could have been one of the Nintendo's like really good consoles, but I think they dropped the ball.
Mismarketed the hell out of it.
Yep. It could have. I honestly think that could have been something really good, but we got some good stuff on it. So I'm always like, there's always a positive. I always look at the positive thing. I mean, what else could actually replace the Wii? Because that thing was like, you couldn't find that thing, that Wii, in any place. It was like, you're like, well, good luck trying to find one. In fact, oh look, lovable space pirates with some nice ammunition. Thank you. But yeah, it was hard. In fact, the one time I actually got my Wii was actually I had to get like remember Game Crazy. That I had to like I said, hey, if there's a Wii or whatever used or anything else, call me. It was like, and then I was like coming home from work, from landscaping, and I was like, okay, and they called me up saying like, hey, this the Wii. You told me when the Wii comes in, whatever it is, you're gonna get it. Well, it's here. You just gotta wait. Like we can hold it for you for 2 hours, but if you're not here in 2 hours, it's gone. So I had the whole ass up there. In fact, it took me I almost missed the deadline a bit, man. I was like, holy crap! I'm like, and I just barely got in, and it says here you go. I paid my $250, and I'm like, oh, never. I was like, man, I'm never doing that again. I'm just gonna buy it online next time or whatever. Which that's how I got the Switch and everything. And I'm still waiting to see if I can get a PS5, but that's just the bots already have that.
Yeah, those are a bit tricky to get to anyway.
Yeah,
I consider getting a Switch just because I really wanted a really big handheld for emulation. But I don't know if that new Steam handheld comes out, that might be
that looks
kind of a Switch killer. The problem is Steam never really like has fantastic follow through with their products. Like the Steam controller just kind of was like meh. I'm not sure about what their virtual reality situation is though, but I'm hoping they at least support the what the hell they call it? The Steam, their handheld.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm sitting here. I might be playing like console games on there. I'm thinking about playing like Jedi. What is that? Jedi Fallen Order on that type of stuff. So, Flame Star, Wreck Ship. But I gotta say though, it's the one thing I like about the entire Metroid series here is like they're the first ones to really, really get the console. Is like you see these huge maps and whatever. There was like before like any other unless it's like some PC titles or whatever. But you never saw stuff like this on a console before. So it's like really they. I am just still impressed by what what they did on this on the consoles and everything. So some really good stuff. But, but then again, this is like oh my gosh, oh Super Metroid's great. That's a hot take. It's like the most medium take. But yeah, this is let's see, save, return my energy. There you go. Also, the games I actually I haven't played but want to is the Link to the Past and I played the first Zelda game for a while, but I've never played Legend of Zelda 2 because that game right there is just it's too odd for me.
Wait, you talking about Link to the Past, or are you talking about Link's Adventure?
Link's Adventure, I mean, it's just
Oh yeah, Link's Adventure is not one I've. It's not one of my favorites. I understand they tried doing something different with the adventure genre, which kind of did turn out to be a prototype for, I guess, the entire genre. But yeah, it's just too different. Link to the Past is significantly better.
oh yeah, and I tried, I really did try of tried to play it and just like it's tried to be everything and nothing, I can see why people just like nope.
I'm not sure if it. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm not. I was gonna let you go because it sounded like you had a point to make.
I'm just saying it's just that game I just don't see anyone really get into that. It's just nah. It's like no, I just can't really
Yeah, those really early adventure games on the Nintendo were kind of hit and miss, very dodgy.
yeah. Speaking of hit and miss, this is one
Yeah,
of
you can
those
duck in the bottom left corner, and the guy can't hit you with anything except those fireballs.
get close and then hide the ball. Oh come on,
Oh, maybe you can.
come on. Oh yeah. Come on, come on, take it out. And there I go. Oh, I thought I beat him. Nope, it didn't. Ah, okay. And there it is. And
Hey, you run around like a chicken with his head cut off.
finally, with one energy thing right there. It's great. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Now I have 100%. Or 99, but at least that first boss encounter was a success, even though I almost died. Yeah, well, you take the wins
So,
you
Duke,
can get. Like,
how many Metroidvanias do you play?
Well, not many.
Have you ever played like Symphony of the Night, or have you played oh, what the hell is the new one called? Not Bloodborne. God damn it, it's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite new games. Can't remember the name of it. Bloodstained, I think.
Oh, Bloodstained. No, I've never really gotten to that type of genre. Um, the only thing close I got to was the Oni games. I think that's what's closest to a Metroidvania to me. But
What about Guacamelee?
oh, I played that. I have that on my 360. Um,
Guacamelee is great.
yeah, it is. And uh, let's see if I can see if this works. All right, that's nice. And but yeah, I mean, I rarely play. I like when I play my games. I want to have like a linear path to it. I'm like, okay, what do I have to do? Where do I have to go? And sometimes it can be an open world thing where I can just run around and do crazy stuff, like a Legend of Zelda or something like that to get like some heart pieces or whatever. But more often than not, I just want just to be like, okay, what do I got to do? What type of things I got to get, and just not to be like, oh my gosh, I have to keep running back and forth or whatever. That's just my
The
thing.
funny thing is, I can't really stand Metroidvania games, but I always end up playing a lot of them.
Eh,
If that makes any sense.
that's. I mean, you have a standard though. You're like, okay, what type of stuff works with you, and sometimes it's not might not be like a Metroid or a Castlevania, or maybe it is a Castlevania with you, but it's just the setting, the aesthetic, that sort of stuff. So I never really played any Castlevania games in a while, or in fact, the only one I did play was the PS2 one, and it was like not that good. But
Yeah,
yeah,
what I've been playing recently is Blasphemous. Freaking love that game.
mm.
Very fun stuff.
That's enough to go through here. Okay, jump, jump, and wait, nope, that doesn't go anywhere. Uh, doot, 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 doot. Nothing here. Nothing here. Is there anything here other than the rain?
But yeah,
Hmm.
freaking Bloodstained, or not Symphony of the Night,
It pretty much
Ritual
is
of the Night.
ritual. I mean,
Yeah,
since Konami basically is not making games anymore, I mean,
yep,
and I mean, like just like it's funny how the two main games right now are coming out are stuff like Konami and Sonic or whatever. Which, like, oh goodness, by the way, speaking of Sonic, oh the Colors remaster came out and it's complete garbage, as I hear. And meanwhile, I had the original Wii version and everything works out perfectly. Maybe people just need to stop buying the should stop buying these remasters until they're actually, they actually do a good job on these things. Because I'm like, they can't, they don't know what they're doing for the most part. They don't know what these people they have no idea what they're doing. They're just like, oh, this is gonna work. No, no, it's not. It's not going to work, and they're just like, it's buggy. They don't know what they're doing. It's low. Now, by the way, they still use the same type of cinema. The cinema. The cutscenes. For like, oh, we still use the same cutscenes from the Wii version, which is hilarious. And I'm like, why are you still using the Wii version of the of the stuff, man? Why can't you just upgrade it? What is the problem? I'm like, what's the problem here? I'm like, what's the problem? Why can't you actually, um, if you're gonna do I'm like, if you're gonna do a remaster or whatever, why not actually, actually put the effort in? If you're not gonna put the effort in, why do it? That's my opinion. Just don't do it as cheap cash, or just like, you know what? I'll just play the original. I'll just sit back and play the original, which I have. And by the way, the I hear actually the No More Heroes remaster is actually pretty good. So, you know, if you want to go and do the, play a remaster, I heard that one's actually good. So, get get with people. I always like, if you're gonna do remasters, have remasters that are, they actually do their work with.
Mm.
That's what it is. Don't just put someone the sloppy stuff here. Oh.
Nice little foreshadowing there.
Yep.
The statue of foreshadowing.
Yes. Also, by the way, I think one of those monsters come back. I believe for Dread. I think that's Craig or Kane or whatever. That big fat one. I think he's one of the sub bosses.
I doubt it.
Let's see. Come on. Let's see. We get him. Oh yes, more energy. There we are. I think we're good enough here. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot more of these. It looks like it's gonna be some weird stuff going down. But that's Metroid for you. On Metroid Dread. So I just hope it's actually gonna be at least decent. Cause hey, all that money. People. If it's crap, well, they're gonna hear it. That's gonna be good, but overall it looks pretty good though. It looks actually, the gameplay looks really good, and I'm just with that Metroid Dread, and I think the other game I can't wait to play for the Switch is the remaster of Advance Wars, because that looks actually really good. I'm actually gonna be really hyped for that, because man, I love playing that game. Advance Wars is really one of the underrated classics.
Yep.
If you ever played those games, nice strategy stuff. So. Oh, super bombs. Let's see. Alright, let's see. Which door is the right door? Because I only got 6. Let's see. Well, let's see. Right. Let's see if this was the right door. Hopefully. Oh, got me a big energy. Another one.
So,
And...
Other M.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna say this: the gameplay of Other M is fine. The gameplay is fine, but the story does not make sense.
Never played out, know much about it.
Oh, I played it. I had I actually. Oh no! Oh boy! All right. Oh, there it is. There's missile reload. That's good. But yeah, I played it, and I have the if I can find it, the Metroid Other M, art cards here. If I can find them, because I do have them. It's like they really are that, and like I have the Last Story. Remember that game from Operation Railfall? I got like the Last Story artwork. I got Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare artwork from the pre-orders and everything. Which nope. Yeah, that was the cheaper ones, because I think I remember one of the big pre-orders was bonuses was like night vision goggles. I'm not making that up, by the way. It was actually night vision goggles, and
Proper set.
yeah, it was actually, and they worked.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm at like I don't know what person would use night vision goggles.
The wrong type of person.
Yeah, like I'm gonna use night vision goggles, right? For no reason. It just and such. It's weird, but hey, I'm like, as long as you're not doing anything crazy with them, which that's probably the last. No, I actually.
Well, no, because if you have a pair of night vision goggles, it was actually kind of fun to use. Just
yeah, but just
you wouldn't be able to use much in the
on
city because all the freaking artificial light make you go blind.
Yeah. Let's see. Survey says. Oh, there it is. Yeah. I played all the Modern Warfare games until 3 because everything else was just. It was like less and less. The games got less and less good. Each game was just terrible. Just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And the story kept getting worse and worse. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Some things there. But yeah, I did not care for it. I didn't care for the story or the online stuff because I am not. I'm not one of those game. That type of like great gamer who can just like, oh, I'm gonna do like multi kills and everything. I actually got Tactical Nuke by accident. I actually just did like I was just running around acting like pretty much like just this crazy trying just not to die, and I just that was my only time ever getting a Tactical Nuke. It was like how I still don't know how I did it, but yeah, I got the 25 kill streak and I actually did it. It was like Tactical Nuke. I'm like, what just happened? And how did I get Tactical Nuke? That's the type of gamer I am. Like, I accidentally do these things. I am not that type of like, oh, I could do all this stuff. I'm like, no.
So what's the game you're gonna play after this one? Which Metroid game?
Well,
You gonna go handheld or you gonna go 3D with the GameCube?
I'm going to try to. Oh wow. I'm gonna try to do I'm gonna use the Wii U to play some of the old school games. They're like, okay, I'm gonna play that type of stuff. So that's the plan, is to do play some like Metroid Fusion and Metroid um, Metroid Fusion and what is that other game? Zero Mission. And that's what see if I can do that, and then go up to Metroid Prime. If I can somehow a way to actually play that, using if I can find, there's a video I can see if I can connect with with my using some other stuff to just jingle up my AverMedia and GameCube and everything. That's if I can find it again, I will probably use that. I'm gonna be like, okay, now I can play this and like for example, Twin Snakes. Now that's a game I really want to actually sit and actually play and stream, because that game right there is all the insanity, it's just Metal Gear Solid 1, but just insane version of it.
Yep. Beautiful graphics.
And the same batshit story. But in all in its GameCube glory. And just having the Solid Snake act just basically be like doing all these moves in GameCube, like they couldn't do it in the PlayStation, but they could do this stuff during the GameCube stuff. Which, by the way, I kind of like. It's hilarious that that the game has not been re-released anywhere. It's only on the Nintendo. Silicon Knights only. I don't know who owns the rights to it, but I'm surprised that they didn't. Sony or whatever didn't pay the whatever toll they can pay to say okay, we'll play so we can put this on the next gen console or whatever.
Mm.
It's just like, yeah, this is weird to me. It's like having a Metroid game and they made it like a 3D, a full 3D, like Metroid, a remaster of Metroid, but they Nintendo's like, oh, we can't really play this or whatever. Like the PlayStation had like a 3D version of it, but then we can't really use it. Just still they still use the same, um, this they use this like okay the 2D version. They I don't know which lawsuit. I don't know who owns the rights to it, which is a shame because I think that game is really. It's like it's so insane. I love it, but it's a shame that most people will probably never get a chance to actually see how great it is because it's limited in the it's limited and on the it's limited on the GameCube. And that game and the GameCube wasn't that a high seller in the first place. So it's stuck on a console that most people will not play and never will play.
Yep. Also, a console is extremely hard to find. The Wii U.
I mean, I could play on the Wii, which. Oh.
Of course, aren't Wii games kind of? No, I guess not. The handheld toggle shit wouldn't be doable on the Switch. Or would it?
I mean, yeah, it's GameCube games could be played on the Wii. Wii games can play on the Wii U, and honestly, that's why I don't like Nintendo's especially when they go on their website. It's like, well, if you get a GameCube, like we're sorry if you can't really fix it or anything. It's just well, you just gotta buy our new stuff, which is I'm like, come on. I'm like, y'all.
Well, making something backwards compatible is not a bad idea, but it's just that so many of Nintendo's gimmicks are just that. I mean, you can't really replicate a lot of the hardware functionality in these things.
Yeah, I mean, you can do the. I think you could do the Wiimote stuff with the dual things with the nunchucks, with the side stuff and everything. What they have on the two side things, you can definitely do like the Wii stuff there. But everything else,
I mean, I'm reading right now, and you can't. Besides a handful of titles that had their controls completely reworked, you can't play Wii games obviously on a Switch.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, you have to basically do the nunchucks and everything. You have to play the nunchucks, and then you gotta get like I lost one of the black like little things that you can slide into. I can't find another version of that, but I have to probably pay another one to actually do all the nunchucks like right or whatever. So even then, I have to probably like okay. All right, I have to you have to sit there and do the play it like on my Pro controller, which I think even like Mario Odyssey, they said like the best way to do it is for the nunchucks, which is I'm like okay, yeah, but no, I play. I'm playing this on the Pro controller because it's pretty much more. It's much more. It's like man, it's more comfortable for me. I mean, I don't hate the Wii mode. I don't hate the Wii controls, but you know what I'm saying, man. It's like
yeah,
it's more comfortable. And wait a second, I'm on the right. I made a mistake. Alright. Run. But yeah, that's... Oh, come on. Had to take out these things. Alright. And I die. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Flowed in a glorious death.
Oh, well. I say down to go all the... Oh, wait a second. I just rewind this stuff right there. Like, why am I doing all this? I can just rewind here and just, you know, do that instead of just actually do, you know, play the stuff here. So I'm like, so I don't have to like, oh, I have to play the bosses again. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I just sit back and just rewind, just sit there and actually do that again. Which I don't care if it's called cheating. I'm not wasting time just playing the same, like, you know, doing the same thing over and over again. Which, man, like, because I'm like, that's just my thing. I'm like, I'm not wasting time doing all that stuff. You know, I got like stuff to do. That's what I did when my Metroid thing. I was like, oh, you gotta do this. I'm like, no, I don't have to do anything. I'm just gonna finally, you know, do the thing, get finish the game up, and move on. That's what I do. I like get it in, get out, and get done. Mostly in these old school games because they are not. They show no mercy. And here, at least here, you like, you know what? I could just sit back and actually do like, you know, sit there and say, okay, here you go. Let me just uh, do this stuff and actually beat this in the like in the time and everything. Because I'm not that good. I can admit that I'm not as like the best like Super Metroid game. In fact, first time playing this game, so I am not that good at playing these games. So
Well, the biggest difficulty in these types of games is trying to figure out where you need to go next, because you just gotta keep an eye on the map. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, explode again.
Let me go back.
Oh, cheating, are we?
Yes, I am. I don't care. I'm basically using the game journalist mode in this game at this point, so I don't care. I just don't care. So yeah, it's just I'm just like, okay, am I going the right way or not? That's what it is. I'm like, if I'm going the right way, good. If I'm not, alright. Worst come to worst, I will probably go online and just look and just let's see if let's see if this work. Nope. Alright, let's see. Move, and there it goes. Ooh, what? There it goes. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Stop the bleeding. And there we are. Back where we started. Somewhere. Alright. No. Alright, let's see where this pink room goes. Let's see where it goes. Hopefully something good. Oh, it's a save room. Yes. One thing I do like about the Prime series, the save room actually refills all your stuff. Like, don't worry, it's all good. So, yeah, that's, you know. My thing is, which I wonder if there is going to be a Switch version of like all the Metroid Prime stuff. How are they going to do Metroid Prime, um, you know, 3? Because that's pretty much all Wii stuff, by the way. It's pretty much the Wii, like, you know, just all the stuff from just like, oh, we gotta press those key cards, pump all this stuff up and do everything like that. It's so much stuff that you have to, do with the Wiimote and everything. So
Mm.
I'm like, how the heck is it gonna do that for the Switch? Because Metroid 1 and 2, I can see like, that's easy because they were just on the GameCube, and you can just map the GameCube controller stuff um, to the Switch thing and Pro Controller. That's easy. Bada bing, bada boom. You're done. That's it. You don't need to do anything. But if you tried to do that I don't know if you could do that with the Metroid Prime 3, which I am one of my favorite Metroid Primes because you got to do all this other stuff. It's probably one of my favorite because it is a little bit easier and everything, but also you can actually use you can go and I think because not I mean the enemies are great at fighting there, and using the Wiimote actually to aim and do all this type of stuff, it's like it feels like you really are Samus just doing all the type of aiming and shooting, that type of connection and everything. And I'm like, it was like finally you have, it feels, you really do have that type of control with Samus, and which I don't know if you can actually do that type of stuff with the Switch. Which I'm not saying the Switch can't have that type of control and anything. It's just that you're like, come on, man. It's like when you have that type of the Wii, for all of its faults, has that type of you're like wow, man. The Wii has that type of a way to actually where you can actually sit there and say, okay, we can actually do all these all this cool stuff and everything. I just wish more game consoles actually had that. The immersion. That's what I was looking for, immersion. Because honestly, I never played a game that actually had that much immersion with the Wii. And come on, the idea of what the Wii represent and everything. Because that type of immersion, you can't get that with a Pro controller. You know, you can't get that with a Pro controller and everything else. Just see, maybe. Notice I can't go in this room. I can't go any further because this stupid thing won't let me. Unless we go to the other pink room. Let's see what this is. What do we get here? Hopefully something. Oh. Alright. Oh, and dead end? Or is it? No, it's not. And we get a map. Map data out. Okay. Alright. One star. Criteria. Thought that's the no, it is not the cafeteria, but okay, where else do we need to go? We go down here. Well, let's see. I got morphin ball and bombs and missiles. So, huzzah. What else? So, Laughman, what games are you looking forward to? What's the big games you're looking forward to at the end of this year or next year, man?
Well, I'm looking through my Steam list right now, and I'm trying to figure out like when half of these freaking games I want are coming out. Like currently, there's an RPG done by, let's take a quick look and see who they are. Sabotage Studio, and it's called Sea of Stars. And it's kind of like a kind of feels like a Chrono Trigger callback, but it's by the same development studio that created The Messenger, the Ninja Gaiden kind of game where you half of it's like 8-bit and the other half's like 16-bit.
Hmm.
But yeah, that. Also, the Ninja Turtle game's coming out. The official kind of looks like a sequel to Turtles in Time called Shredder's Revenge. It's throwback to the 80s cartoon and especially the 90s video game.
Oh yeah.
For some reason, I guess they added April
Uh,
O'Neil to it, so
which fits because she
she
actually
kicks
does
butt
know.
now.
Yeah, she always kicked butt. I think in the comics they actually she learns how to fight at least.
Not in the 80s, not in the 80s cartoon, but
And
it's fine.
yeah, and then in 2003, I think she learned how to fight. I think that's 2003 and 2011 because it's a
Yeah, but again,
consistent
this is a
the 80s one.
this is
Which
a rehash of the 80s cartoon, so it's not
so
the 2003 cartoon. It's definitely the
the 80s
older
one,
OG one. It was just basically product placement.
but it
It was
was actually
basically watch the
decent.
cartoon and buy me the toy mommy.
But it had one of the most
Yeah.
I think Shredder there, even though he was a bit goofy, but still was a threat, and it was voiced by Uncle Phil. So
Yep, but it was also just kind of a with 80s cartoons you couldn't get away with much, which kind of sucked. So there's not a lot um, as far as the cartoon series goes. Video games are fantastic though. Some things like the Manhattan Project on the Nintendo. Obviously, Turtles in Time on the Super Nintendo was one of the greatest beat 'em ups ever.
yeah, and the 3D remake was terrible as hell. It was just
Oh god, yeah,
it was bargain basement, which it shouldn't be bargain basement. That is a I
that's
look
a
at
slam
that.
on bargain basements.
Yeah, it's true, but I'm just like, this could have been. It could have been so much better. That's what it is. That should have been a much better game than it should have been. But
Hmm.
no, it just feels like, um, I feel like, man, that's a game series that should be more love. That should get more love. The TMNT, like, I don't know why they haven't re-released that game yet. I
Not a
mean,
clue.
that right there is probably, it's again one of the best game, beat 'em ups of all time. And I'm like, you can't make another one. You can't make a decent remaster. You just gotta just make it as crap as possible.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's frustrating to me because like I know I know I saw better, and I'm like, y'all could do definitely better than this, man. It's like
Yeah,
that's the frustrating thing is that I see I'm like, man, this thing y'all could do so much better, but for whatever reason, they just can't.
another great game that looks like it's supposed to be coming out in this year sometime is indie game called Aeon Must Die, and it's kind of like a 2D pixelated Devil May Cry. It looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, that looks nice. I'm just waiting for there's some like some Metroid Dread. Let's see what else is on the docket. Oh, um, let's see, Advanced Wars, but also when I finally get the PS5, which I hopefully will get soon, probably the next Spider-Man on the PS2, Spider-Man 2, which looks like it's going to be, dealing with Venom, which will
Mm.
probably be a lot more violent than the Venom that's going to be in theaters, because hey, Sony got cold feet and turned into PG-13 because of course they did. They're like, they can't handle that stuff. I'm like, come on now.
Of course not. They're trying to make it. They're trying to make money. They're not trying to make a good product. Except the
I'm
new Spider-Man movie does look pretty good though.
Yeah, because they had to dug into the well of the Sammy Raimi trilogy. That's what it is. They had to dug into something that is not connected to Tony Stark, which is one of my big pet
Yep.
peeves. Like, we need, we had Spider Man. I'm like, okay, the first movie, I let that slide, but again, I'm like, what happened is just being these characters be antagonists to Spidey just cause, you know? It's just like it just screams like, you know, we have to be interconnected for the sake of being interconnected, you know? There's nothing like no one's actually you're like, man, it'd be nice to have like it's connected to the universe but not connected. Which I hear Shang-Chi is like that, a nice origin story or whatever, but I don't know.
All
But
I know
yeah,
is that the trailer was one of the first times in, well, ever, um, that I actually was excited to see a comic book movie.
oh Shang-Chi, the action and everything, which I heard is
Well,
actually,
not Shang-Chi, definitely Spider-Man.
oh yeah,
Because the Spider-Man trailer, I was like, oh wow, this actually looks kind of looks good, and it's the first time I've ever said that to a comic book movie in since Deadpool 1.
yeah. I just think it's just frustrating because I honestly looked at those movies and I'm like, and the reason why most people are so happy for these movies now is because I'm like, this is a movie. Um, you look at the whole state of these comic book movies are just so much of the same, and I'm like, I would like to see Shang Chi, but I'm just like, I don't know. It felt like um, it's just I just don't care. I want to care. I want to like say, hey, these movies looks like something interesting and such. But seeing the the stuff and the actions, maybe it's just like I'll eventually go see it, but not. And I'll wait till when it comes on Disney Plus or when it gets on cable. You know, that's why I feel
Or
like
when it goes in the Pirate Bay. But
it's oh, it's already up there probably. But yeah, I'm just so burnt out, and I just hate saying that because I love watching like the movies and everything. I do love generally love watching these the comic book movies. I
well,
generally love.
it's like Razor Fist was saying, these things kind of happen in waves, where first you have the initial wave, then you have the knockoffs, and then this isn't exactly his idea though, but you have the first wave, and then you have knockoffs, and you also have the deconstruction period, where you basically take, like, let's say the comic book movies, and you deconstruct them and you twist them around and you find creative ways to basically tell a comic book story, kind of like what Joker did. It's a Scorsese film
Joker.
essentially.
Yeah, it's basically that
Yeah, and now you
Joker.
got the multiverse stuff because they're kind of on their death throes, and eventually this entire fad's just gonna die.
Well, or it's gonna be right where the Western is, which is death, but also a rebirth, a way of actually having these
Well, there
smaller
will, but
places.
there needs to be a long period before you get a rebirth, and even then, the rebirth might not be a full-on rebirth because with westerns, for instance, you had Hollywood westerns, then you had deconstructionist ones, which were closer to like uh, the what are they called, spaghetti westerns,
Yeah.
where they're much more dark and gritty. And then you basically have the point where it's just unpalatable, and there's a long several decades of no westerns, or at least not a whole lot. You may have the occasional Unforgiven or something though, but it's not like a popular genre. And you may have like a 310 to Yuma remake, which is a good movie, but it's not enough to revitalize interest in westerns until you get that one western film that just absolutely crushes it.
Oh yeah, and that's what you look at some of these movies now. It's just, uh, I honestly think the best way to get these things back is probably just a down period, but I think it is coming. But then again, not now, because I think Shang Chi is going to get like over 80 mil, but on the just going to this weekend alone, I'm like, hey, that's nice, but I just wanted
It's
to.
no 1 billion though. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, let me just see. What is
Plus,
the?
there's not a whole lot of movies coming out because of the COVID and stuff, so people are
Oh,
probably itching just to get out.
yeah, I'm just want to see how much. What was the cost? Because I'm like, it shouldn't cost that much. By the way, the budget shouldn't be that big because of because I wanted to see how much, how much the budget was, because, because I think that'll be. Let me just see. Budget. I haven't seen the budget yet. It says box office like 53 million. I want to see the budget though. I can't find the budget of it. Cause if it's like over 200 mil, it's not hitting that. Because China is locked that down. They're not gonna do that. Let me just see how much. Let me just see. Look at it. All right. Let's see the budget of it. I let's see. Looking at it, I'm looking. I can't find a budget for it, which is a little worrying. But maybe I need to go look more. My Google Food needs to be looking a little bit better.
Nah, it should be fine. I wouldn't worry about it. But
like
I do think
said,
that
but
the
if it
entire comic
is,
book thing is in its death throes. I mean, you saw how people are abandoning Disney Plus in waves.
I just think because
They
it's
basically
not.
went in, saw the Mandalorian, and then left.
Yeah, but I'm hoping that I think it's just gonna be more competition. I think it's because it haven't really the Marvel stuff, and I'm gonna say this on Disney Plus hasn't been other than Loki, hasn't been any good. They WandaVision started off interesting, but failed to really stick the landing. You had these Falcon and Winter Soldier is a complete mess. That's what it is. It's a complete mess of just really trying to have it's trying to please everybody, but it fails to do so. Trying to be moody and deep, and I'm like,
Well, one of the biggest problems too is like they're trying to find ways to squeeze blood from a rock. So obviously, Tony Stark with Robert Downey Jr. is gone. Um, you can already tell they're kind of trying to find some way to recast Loki by making female Loki,
which
and they're gonna try doing a bunch of the pass the torch bullshit when the initial cast is kind of getting up there in age, and
that's the
they need to find some way to keep the franchises alive. So they're gonna have different characters,
the Young
different
Avengers,
actors. They're gonna
all this
do
stuff.
basically, like I said, a lot of torch passing, and people are just gonna get bored of that.
And honestly, I'm gonna say, it's really got, really started. Didn't have the greatest start, but I think DC and everything else really has a chance to, if they get their stuff together, actually start, you know, actually start, promoting its stuff and actually letting, oh god dang it, I don't know why it just doesn't work. Maybe because I need to get like wrong way, but yeah, needs to get something there because I do have a lot more momentum after the Snyder Cut thing, and I think that once the shows start showing up, some good stuff comes in, which I believe that that's going to be the real thing is going to have these shows on these streaming services. That
Mm.
is going to be the real key because right now Disney Plus, they're not. I think this is it. Um, that's the Super Bomb, not that. But yeah, Disney Plus they kind of bombed with their version of that, and if HBO Max, which I think it will, actually starts say, okay, here's what we're going to do. These nice simplistic shows make Green Lantern actually a good show, something positive, something like say, gets people connected with the characters and everything. That's gonna really help people get into the superhero genre again. Is that nice simple shows, uh, stuff like that. That's what's going to really um, actually bring people back in. Is that something that it connects people with? And right now, I just don't see that in Marvel's thing right now. Is because I'm like, at this point, they're trying so hard to connect with people, They're trying so hard to, they're trying so hard to really pass the torch and everything. It's kind of clumsy, and the way they really, I think they screwed up badly with No Way Home. Not No Way Home. What was that? The Spider-Man one before that. Away from Home or something.
Far From Home.
Far from Home. Yeah, they made it to the snap seem too comical. They really should have just waited. It should have had one of those Disney Plus shows dealing with the snap, the emotional trauma. I mean, if they really just sat there and said, "Let's put Falcon and Winter Soldier," or something, that sort of thing, with pre-pandemic, which I think they were going to talk about the pandemic, of, uh, you know, they were going to do that because they can't do that. They couldn't do that now because of, well, we're in a pandemic now. Uh, it's like, okay, how are okay, what is the it would have been a lot more clearer and emotional way of actually breaking everyone into these characters and such. Like, okay, well, the new Captain America, it has a very moral, like, it's a very you know what I'm saying, like a very moral quandary of what who's right or wrong. Instead of what was Falcon and Winter Soldier, morally confusing. It was they're trying so hard to set everything up, and even worse, it was just set up for another movie. I'm like, wait, what? It just sets up for another, like, a movie that will finally solve all the issues and everything. I'm like, no, it should have, Falcon and Winter Soldier should have been a way of actually connecting, bridging that gap instead of just saying, okay, we'll do all this, we're gonna do all this stuff, but nah, we're not gonna actually solve all the major issues and everything. The main bad guy's still alive. The terrorist girl who is, who's that same redhead girl from what, Solo, who just took. I was like, why did they give her a job? She wasn't that good, and she wasn't that good in Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm like,
Was it Amelia Clark or is it someone else?
no, I'm talking about that bounty hunter. You know that when she took out her mask, and I'm like, what in the world? Like,
Oh,
I was like, that girl. I was like, look, I mean, she's tried her best. I mean, she tried, but I'm like, no, no, just stop. It was, it felt like it was like she was trying. I'm like, this is cosplay. Like, okay, she's cosplaying her way into this, like, being a badass bounty hunter. I'm like, that's cute. You know,
it's
you know,
cute, but it's pathetic.
yeah. I'm like, this is sad, and I'm just like, you could have done something better with the role. You could have done something. But I'm just like, man, they dropped the ball. That's the problem with these Marvel series, that they dropped the ball multiple times. Multiple times they dropped it, and you can only
Speaking of,
you
oh,
can
go ahead.
only you can drop the ball so many times until people are just gonna say they don't trust you. The people don't trust you, and when that
Yep.
happens, well, guess what? It's gonna be a long, 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 long way down.
Yep. Now,
Go
quick
ahead.
question: do you subscribe to the theory that Kathleen Kennedy was sabotaged the Mandalorian?
No, 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 no. I think it was just bad. Or just it ran its course. I think that show ran its course, and that was
Well, definitely the second season sucked, but like, well, except for Bill Burr. Bill Burr's always an absolute gem in that series.
yeah.
But as far as like Gina Carello, whatever her name was, the strong woman, uh, do you think that maybe there's any truth that Kathleen Kennedy was trying to sabotage the Mandalorian because basically they're gonna kick her out of the entire Star Wars thing and hand it
No,
over to
no, no.
John
That's too
Favreau?
petty to me. That's way too stupid and petty. But then again, that's Hollywood.
Yeah,
Hollywood
but
is
this is just something I
basically.
read, just something I heard on Midnight's Edge a while back. That
I don't
apparently
know.
Kathleen Kennedy might have been having a troll farm on Twitter, try to basically cancel Gina Carello or whatever her name is,
I don't
Carano,
know.
and Bill
Wouldn't
Burr.
be. I would not be surprised if that was the case. But I'm like, you know, I mean, if they don't, if I'm like, hey, if it's foolish to do this type of stuff because at the end of the day, if the ship fails, it will come after you. Like, you can't just sit and be like, oh well, you know, you know, it's like, oh yeah, everything's fine, and like I took this person out. No, man, eventually that stuff comes after you. So
Mhm.
I'm like, I don't know why you your plan is to you know to hurt yourself while you know hurt someone else you know while you're trying to hurt
Hey,
yourself.
Hollywood's petty, man, and any more social media is a weapon.
It is. It's sad to me. I'm like to me. I'm like let's all try to you know let's all try to get some money here. That's my thing. Oh, wrong one. Ah, jeez. But yeah, but we all need to get the. That's me. I'm like, if you got beef, fine, squash it, whatever. It's time to actually get this, you know, go and actually put a good product out there. That's just my thing. That's my opinion.
Oh,
Why?
it's too easy to drum up shit than to release a good product. You know that.
I know. Yeah. Hopefully I'm not stuck. Please tell me I'm not stuck here, because it's just. Okay. I have to run really fast. I don't know how I can run really fast, or I'll use the bombs or whatever. Let's see. Okay, come on. Let's see. Nothing here. How the heck I'm gonna get past all that? There it is. But yeah, it's wasted time. It's a waste of time to me. I'm like, why are you going here? You
Right,
know,
but
bitching and moaning.
if you're put into the role of basically making Star Wars, and then you fail miserably at it, and someone else comes along and actually does originally a first season a decent job of it, you don't think that maybe you'd try to like scramble to keep your job?
Oh yeah, of course. But I'm just saying. Um, I'm like, what? I'm like, if I'm the manager, I'm like, okay, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? Why am I? You know, you have to look at this type of these things here because if you are, uh, you know, if you're doing something right, doing something wrong, you. I don't think I'm stuck. Please tell me I'm not stuck.
So what do you think about what do you think about new Batman?
Oh, I heard actually some good stuff on it. Um, it's um, it's I think they said it's like I think he narrates the entire. You know, he tells the entire like story, and it looks like the Riddler gets a new look. I personally, I am against it, but I understand why they're looking for that new look for the Riddler because you want to have him be more of like that sociopath type of character, you know. Like, you know, I mean, he is a sociopath because what type of person sits every day and looks at riddles to solve all these type of to do all these type of like these traps and you know kidnapping plots, that sort of thing, because that's what
Yeah,
it is.
it's definitely a having the Riddler be a Zodiac type character kind of makes sense, and I guess it's supposed to focus, like you said, on the puzzle side of or the detective side of Batman, not just go around beat him up, blow him up.
Yeah, it's that type of stuff, which I wish that more these you know Batman actually does that, like does that type of you know does that type of more action and everything, because at the end of the day I think that you know Batman having that type of you know that type of like, okay, we're gonna do all this you know to have be more of a detective, which is always a good thing because I really believe that Batman as a detective uh, is always to me one of the best. Let's see. Oh, that's how you do it. Just run it this way. Run. There it goes. Whee. Alright. Alright, and there we are. But yeah, that's what it is. Detective. Batman being a detective, which is, you know.
Well, it's an area that's not really been that explored. I mean, The Dark Knight kind of did a bit of it, but it was.
Hold on one quick second.
Like,
Sorry about that.
you're alive.
Yep, I'm good. I just gotta check on something right quick. Anyway, Batman looks actually pretty good. I'm like, fine. I was like, hopefully, the detective stuff is actually going to be as important as as important as beating everyone up and everything. Because I've seen that story so many times. I mean, Batman beats everyone up, yada yada yada.
Yep.
I mean, come on now. It's I know he eventually has that fight was going to happen, but I'm like, come on now. Let's see his old detective side there, which will be actually a good thing. To see because he is the world's greatest detective after all. So yeah, that's the hope, is to see Batman be a detective instead of just being this person who just beats people up for no reason. Just blows up, punches guys, and that's it. Which all I hope is the movie is actually something that I just want to see how it's going to actually look and everything. Also, I heard Shazam is over like at CinemaCon there was actually a 3-hour cut of the movie. I'm not kidding you. There was actually a 3-hour cut of it, which is usual. It's the same. It's not like shocking to have that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's just a rough cut of it, which a lot of people said it actually is pretty good. They said Pierce Brosnan does a really good job as Dr. Fate, which probably wishes he could have got someone younger to do him. Like I like Pierce Brosnan. I think he's one of the best Bonds, but I'm like, I feel like part of me is like, could they got someone else? Could they got like someone like someone who is actually trying to be they tried to be try to be like that character like he's not definitely Doctor Strange, but he's like more of a just tries to do the right that type of stuff. I think that would be a better interesting story. Personally, I really wish if I had my way, JSA would have been the first thing in the DC universe for me. I would not say no Superman, nothing. We'll build up to it. no Batman, no Superman, all this stuff. And you could have that's historical precedent too, because it was before the Avengers, before the Justice League. It was the JSA, so you could have just built the JSA up, start doing that, do stuff with the JSA, and next thing you know, you could have just had probably one of the best. I think you could have had like a really good movie right there of the JSA taking on, like, say, some good old Nazi fighting, and then have like a team breakdown or whatever. That sort of thing happens. Be like, oh, the team broke up for, something like that happened, and then you have the, a very sad and dramatic breakup and whatever.
Basically follow the exact same thing that Marvel and the Avengers did.
Yeah, but you'll have more recognizable characters in the back, You'll have, okay, oh, what about these? Trust me, we're going to have your Superman and Batman characters here, so don't worry. That sort of stuff. You know what I mean? Would have been a lot easier pill to swallow. And if the actors are a little too old or whatever, but, if they still want to do the part, they can do guest spots, that sort of thing. That would have been a better way to do it, in my opinion. It would have been a better way, a easier way to really get people to get back into the story and such. It would have been like, wow, I really like. It would have been like, yeah, I really like this story and everything. Would have been that type of way to get people into the story. That's just me. That would have been a really good way to get people into Batman and. You already know Batman and Superman, but give the other people some love. Build up that trust. Build up the trust, and heck, do a whole film series on Blue Beetle, because that right there, the Blue Beetle, that is the Blue Beetle's whole film. You could do a whole mini saga of that alone, because. But yeah, because you got Dan Garrett, you got who was the other dude?
Not a clue. I didn't follow Blue Beetle.
I know Jaime Reyes is the latest one, but it's it will come to me. It will come to me, and when it does, it will probably because he was made. The dude who made him was, I think, Steve Ditko. I think he was one of the people behind them. Gosh, I can't.
It didn't surprise me. Steve Ditko made some of the best stuff.
Yeah, it's that type of. I honestly like. That would have been a really good way to get to people into the. Just get into the story of, like, say, Dan Garrett, get into all the stuff in the lore behind Blue Beetle, and then, have them do the JSA and everything else, and build that around them, and, and then when it finally comes to, the breakdown and everything else, you can have, like, a story of them coming back together, like the series, I think, Stargirl, which is actually really good. I highly recommend that series, by the way. Really good stuff.
Anyways, dude, I might need to bail.
In fact, I think this. I think we'll stop it here. I'm gonna finish the game up, hopefully let's see. Oh, I said it's create save state. Save state right there. Beautiful stuff. But yeah, I'll probably finish up on Monday. So I'm gonna. Besides, I gotta start cooking dinner. Right? It's like almost 5 o'clock. So
yeah, I'm gonna go upstairs and grab a quick bite. Then me and the rest of the gang are gonna jump on Final Fantasy 14 if you want to join us.
Let's see if I look into that. And anyway, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you were entertained by our my failure of playing this game, and also the random movie conversations we had.
Yep, hope you had fun.
Alright, anyway, thanks very much, and see